But I am a law of attraction transformational life coach, and I am a creating money coach, healing your relationship with money. And I'm a licensed massage therapist. I'm a Reiki master, light body practitioner, essential oils, and whatever else. So anyways, that's just a few things.
But, Anne, you really are, you've had a long journey yourself. You have taken the long road to get where you are today. And so I so respect you and so admire your strength, your courage, and your attitude of, just do it. And I really appreciate that about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
And
you.
I love playing with you. So Anne took the Creating Money course, like she said, that Christy Whitman, she was certified to teach by Christy Whitman. But Anne takes the course and she has realized that it's really about your relationship with money. Just like we have relationships with people, we have relationships with our body, as you learned with Nori and Jason. We have relationship, with everything. Anne really understands, what it takes to create a harmonious relationship with money so that you can open up to the abundance that you deserve and that is your birthright. So there you go. How did I do without your bio?
You did phenomenal. Phenomenal. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to mute myself now and you can take it from here.
Well, it's such a great honor and privilege to be here. And what a great looking audience. So happy to have you all here. Thank you. So who wants to attract more money in their life? Just type I do and shout I do, because I do too. Before I go on, what I do want to say is I'm going to ask a lot of questions and it's going to bring up awareness. So today is not the day to beat yourself up. It is not the time to bring self-judgment, because when we have awareness, we can change. So that's what we're doing today. So if I say to you that you could have a financial breakthrough, would you be interested? Well, take a seat and get comfortable for the next 30 minutes. And money may or may not be an issue for you, but majority of people need a certain amount of money for exchange or service. So if you're one of those people that don't have enough or just want more, then this is the class for you. Perhaps you have a money cap that no matter what you do, you just can't seem to surpass that. Then this is the class for you. And if you're one of those people that your motto is, oh, I work hard on my life, I pay my bills, life sucks, then I die. Well, this is your lucky day, because this is the class for you. So let me ask you, why do we place so much importance, so much meaning on this one word, money? Does anybody have a clue? Is it really the money that creates the feelings, the power struggles, the control issues, the arguments, the divorces? Of course not. Money is simply green energy in coins. It's green paper in coins. So why all the drama? Why all the anxiety? Where does it come from? I'll get back to that in a moment. But first, what is the definition of money? Well, it's a current medium of exchange in the form of coin and paper to use as a way to pay for goods and services and to pay people for the work. It's a measure of value. So when I say the word money to you, what comes up? Excitement, freedom, fun, security, success, power, respect, expansion, possibilities, prosperous? Or Is it more like not enough, limited, not living the ideal lifestyle of your dreams, resistance, settling, stressed, or you just simply need more? But most of all, what, and I'm going to say that F word, what feelings came up for you when I asked you about money? Were they positive feelings of abundance, or was it negative feelings of lack and stress? And really be honest with yourself. Again, this is not a time to beat yourself up and feel bad. This is about inner awareness. Now, let me ask you, where do you feel those feelings in your body? Is it in your gut, in your head, in your chest area? Is there a weight to these feelings? So for instance, if you're feeling abundant, you're feeling free and happy and abundant, and maybe you feel light and energetic and happy. But if it's lack, you may feel a sense of weight or heaviness or sluggishness. Does money control your life as to what you can or can't do? And does it control how you feel? Do you let it ruin your day when you don't have enough money to pay your bills? And when you have money in your hands, what's your first reaction? Spend it, put it in the bank, hide some, divide it up for bills, put some towards vacation? Are you grateful for it? Do you appreciate it? Do you love it? Does your money work for you, or do you work for your money? So let me ask you this. How can money have control over you when it's you that makes the decision how to use it, how to spend it? And can you still feel abundant even if you don't have enough? So limiting beliefs, we're going to talk about that. Did they or do they have an effect on you? I personally had many growing up, many to overcome in my lifetime. Have you ever given thought to this? Being around our parents and caregivers in our life, or teachers, religious leaders, relatives, friends, did you take on any of their beliefs about money? And if so, was it all positive? Or maybe there were some contradictions and you had no idea who to believe, because a lot of times a mom and a dad have different reactions and different feelings around money. Did your parents even teach you about money habits? I personally don't recall my parents teaching me anything about money. So on payday, do you set aside money for the mortgage and utilities first? Is there enough to put aside for unexpected emergencies? Do you pay yourself per paycheck to spend on whatever you want? Do you eat out often? Do you set limits on your spending? Is there anything left over to put into savings, education, or miscellaneous? Or do you whip out the good old credit card? And how did you learn that? Where did you learn it from? What are your money habits? And did they change when you got into a relationship or marriage? Who controls the money and why? And whose way is the right way? Does one partner handle money better than the other? Do you disagree on how to divide it up? And does it cause conflict? Are these questions making you feel a little stressed already? Again, do not judge yourself. So I ask you once again, why do people argue, fight for control, and divorce over money? Anybody have any clue? Anybody want to post their answers? Why do we fight and argue over money? Why is there such power struggle? Well, it simply comes back to our beliefs. Power, yeah. It simply comes back to our beliefs and patterns that you picked up as a child from people in your life. And they either work for you or they don't. And for most people, the beliefs are outdated, and maybe they never even worked for your parents either. So I remember when I moved out into my first apartment, I used the envelope system. I think I taught that to myself. Each paycheck, I divided money into envelopes for rent, utilities, food, so forth. You get the point. What was left or not was for me or savings or miscellaneous. That was the key that I never knew at the time. Was there enough left for me? How did I value me? Did I value me? And why wouldn't I? And why is that important? I'm going to come back to that later. So I grew up knowing lack, and that's how my parents talked. Not enough for this, not enough for that. No, you can't have that. I don't really recall my parents fighting much about money because I think most of the time it was spoken behind closed doors, but it was a silent communication nonetheless, one that we felt. And as a child, what do you do with those feelings, with the tension? How did you feel when you couldn't get what you wanted? Did you feel rejected on some level? When you heard no often, did you begin to feel a bit unworthy? And what did you tell yourself? What was your self-talk? And what did you do with those feelings? We buried them. There wasn't communication in my family. And I think in my generation, kids weren't so much allowed to speak, right? So things got buried. And I know that if my parents would have shared some of their struggles or shared what was going on in the family, it would have made sense. It would have validated it. So we as children wouldn't have blamed ourselves. When I was old enough to babysit, I started earning my own money, and I could buy whatever I wanted. The extras that my parents couldn't give me, like record albums, dating myself here, nail polish, more clothes, concert tickets, and so forth. And I felt great. That was empowering versus the lack that I felt in my family sometimes. I do recall hearing, money doesn't grow on trees. Get a job, work hard for your money. In other words, work for someone else, put lots of hours in, long days, and maybe even an extra part-time job. And sometimes it still wasn't enough. There again was that limiting belief. It's not enough. I'm not enough. That's what I grew up with. Can anyone else relate? Say yes. Hope I'm not the only one here that relates to this. Awesome. Wow, lots of yeses. Thank you. So what are some of the other limiting beliefs that you heard? Feel free to type those in. What did your parents used to say growing up? Or not even parents, just anybody, teachers, peers, neighbors. Because I think that's the generation. It was just always beliefs because that's what they grew up with. That's what they believed. And like our grandparents, they grew up, in a depression. So that's what they knew. So what are your money habits that you picked up on? And do they work for you or are they outdated? I remember a neighbor telling my dad once, when you drive a nice car, then you know you finally made it. You reached success. Really? I won't go into that, but he did take that belief on for his own. Did any of you ever learn that it was always better to give than to receive? I did. That created an issue with me growing up because I had difficulty accepting compliments and gifts. And when I got older in my early 20s, I never liked to ask my parents for help, mainly because I was kind of afraid of them, especially my dad. I felt like I was putting them out. So at times I gave gifts in lieu of helping, their help. Kind of like an apology, like, sorry for taking up your time, or perhaps to receive validation from them. If I give you something or I'm nice to you, mom and dad, then you'll love me back. You think that sounds bizarre? Well, how many of you have been in wrong relationships? Maybe a few. You settled even though you knew it was wrong for you. You justified. Well, he or she loves me. Or you made excuses why you should stay. I know they'll change. They're just going through a rough patch. We made excuses. Why do I mention that? Because it's the feelings and the beliefs that we hold about ourselves, that we develop about ourselves as a child. And they affect how we either attract or repel abundance and relationships into our lives. And some of them are subconscious. Why do I know this? Because many people say they don't have enough money, or they live paycheck to paycheck, or they're working part-time jobs, or they stay in the wrong relationships because they fear being alone. So you see, your external world is a reflection of your internal world. Think about that. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. And probably you'll see a theme here today: internal alignment. So in other words, how you think, your beliefs, and how you feel either creates or repels your abundance, or the kind of people you attract in your life. Ever heard the statement, you only attract what you believe you deserve? Very powerful. That really set with me the first time I saw that. So for now, I want to talk to you about just a few different relationships with money. So first, perhaps you can identify people in your life. You've got the spender. As soon as payday comes, they're out blowing their money. There's a sense of this euphoria that they get spending money. And then they hit a low because there's not enough left to pay the bills, which they really didn't care about anyways. And then there's that feeling of shame. And then that gets repressed because it doesn't feel good. Then you've got the saver. Pay the bills, tuck the rest of it away into accounts, investments. That's not bad. But they don't even consider spending anything on themselves. It's all about saving for your future and not enjoying today. There's no validation for the self. Then you've got the thrifty person or the cheapskate. You really want to indulge on yourself, right? You want to get all those toppings for the pizza because that's what you're craving. And you can well afford it, but you don't. Or you buy a cheaper version of something, even if it's poor quality, just because it's cheaper. Or you know that one person that when you're out with friends, they suddenly remember they forgot their wallet, dodging getting out of pain because that's their habit. Then you've got the flower child. They live off the land. Who needs money? It's not a big deal. Money's not important. I'm happy just to sit here in nature and meditate all day long. Om. The point is, how do you feel about your money? What is your relationship with money? What does it bring up in you? Are you feeling this so far? Is any of this starting to make sense? So I hope so. And again, not here to make you feel bad, because the more we can be aware of, our money and our relationship, we can shift it, and then we can start bringing in the big bucks. So when you go to a restaurant, good. I'm so glad, Petra. Thank you. So when you go to a restaurant and you ask the waiter for a salad, and they ask questions like, what kind of salad? Do you want all vegetables, or would you like a protein on it? If so, what would you like? Chicken, beef, or salmon? What kind of salad dressing? And would you like it on the side, Would you like super sandwich with that? So you're narrowing down exactly what you want. You're being specific. So you say, okay, universe, bring it on. I want to attract a lot more money. Do you state a particular amount or just more money in general? So if you're walking down the street and you find change on the ground, maybe it's just a few pennies, how do you react? Do you get excited and pick it up and give thanks? Or do you walk on by? After all, your prayers were just answered. If you asked for more money, it just showed up. Did your parents ever used to say to you, if you can't appreciate what you have, then why should I give you more? I know I heard that a lot. It's the same with money. If you're not happy with your money now, what makes you think having a lot more money is going to make you happy? And if you can't manage what you have now, how will you manage a greater amount? Here's a good example. Look at all the lottery winners. Not all of them, but some of them. You probably think, well, that's not going to be me. But if you don't have a healthy relationship with money, it will be you. Yay, Andrea, she found a quarter yesterday. Woohoo! Give plenty of thanks, and I know you are. So, ever notice what happens when you wake up late? Things seem to spiral downhill. Until what? Until you change your mood or your attitude. Things get better because you shifted your energy. In other words, when you're feeling good, you're vibrating high. Feeling gratitude, whether you have money or not, you're no longer in resistance. You're open to allow good things into your life. You're open to receive. Money, like everything, is energy. Money is a high vibration. And I'm sure many of you have had this happen. That's a great example. And I hear this often. You're in the market for a new vehicle. You do your homework, you shop around, and you narrow it down to the make and the model. And what do you notice? Everywhere you look, all you see is this vehicle, perhaps even the same color that you want. It's like magic. Why is this? Because it's your energy summoning your desire. All your attention and focus is on the car, the feel of it, the smell of it, how fast it goes. You are a vibrational, energetic match because of how you feel. You're not even offering any resistance because that is your total focus. All your positive energy you're putting out is on this vehicle. Do you feel it? Ever come across someone super stressed? You can read it on their face. They're all tight, clenched. Their muscles are tight. Their fists are clenched. And they're just closed off. And you could walk up to them and tell them, you just won $1 million. And you know what? They wouldn't even hear you because they're stuck in that lower feeling energy, that lower vibration. They're not open to receiving. Think of it. When your fist is closed tight, right? It's not open to receiving. So when it's tight and you're tight, right? Anything good that comes to you is just deflected right off. And because most people give more attention and focus to their current conditions in life. In other words, if you struggle in paying your bills each month and you are ignoring the debt collector calls, you may be feeling disappointment, embarrassment, perhaps even a little bit of shame or guilt. Your thoughts and self-talk continues to be negative because that's what you're feeling. So you think to yourself, wow, wouldn't life be great if I just had an extra $100,000 in my bank account? Yeah, like that's going to happen. So even though your words stated that you want more money, the energy of money is responding to the energy of your feelings. Yep, like that's going to happen, right? That's the energy you're emitting because those are your beliefs. So your point of attraction is going to be attracting more unpaid bills, more collectors calling, more lack, because that's the underlying feeling. That's where most your focus is, on the lack, not abundance. And logically, we think we're being abundant. We think we're feeling abundant. But because of those limiting beliefs that get stuck deep down, like Jason was trying to help us release earlier, that's what happens. And this is how money responds to us if we're not a match to it, because everything is energy. So our thoughts, when you think a thought repeatedly, it becomes a belief. And that belief creates our emotions. And those emotions create our actions, and our actions create your point of attraction, as in the example above with the vehicle. Ever observe a child at Christmas time? I love Christmas. It makes me excited like a child. But what do? They put forth all their energy, all their desires in the form of a list for Santa or their parents. And what do next? They let go and they surrender, and they get very excited, and they daydream, and they talk about it to their friends, and they talk about it to the parents, and they tell their teachers the list, and they tell their bus driver, and they're just so excited, and they dream about it, and they feel as if they've already received it. There is no doubt in their mind upon receiving what's on their list. Can you feel that energy? Have you ever witnessed that? Then what? They wait, not so patiently, I may add, but with excitement, feeling happy, and they're just fun to be around because of all that positive energy. And then Christmas morning, it arrives to them under the Christmas tree. And they don't care if Santa brought it, Mom brought it, Auntie brought it, you get the point. The point was, there was no doubt. For a child, believing is seeing. So when you state what you want, do you state a specific amount of money? And do you get excited about it? Do you get happy about it? Do you visualize as already having it? And are you open to receiving it? Most of us don't believe it, don't expect it, and don't feel worthy of it enough because of our limiting beliefs about it. And then we're impatient. It's not here yet. When's it going to show up? The focus is on the lack. And then we put too many conditions on how it will show up, from where it should show up from, and how much will show up. So for example, a small amount shows up in your life and we say, well, that's not what I asked for. That's not enough. That's not going to pay that bill. Feel the energy in that? Yikes. But that's exactly what a lot of us do on some level without even awareness of doing this. And as adults, what do we say? When we see it, we'll believe it. Wonderful, Suli. I'm grateful that that's touching you. So you say, okay, Ann, now what? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, let's have some fun now. Let's create a new reality. Are you ready to create a new reality? Say yes. Yes, I am, Ann. You have to shout yes. Awesome, France. Type in yes. Awesome. Love to see the yeses. Before I go on, though, have you ever read any of the books by Abraham Hicks? And I know all you coaches have. They talk about our energy vortex that we all have, right? If we just believe, if we just allow, and everything we desire is in our energy vortex. So, as Susan has mentioned, I am the money fairy, and I'm missing my tiara, but here is my money wand, right? And let me get up a minute. I've got my little tutu on even. So I am amazed because I am standing in my money vortex. Holy moly, I'm my own money fairy. Holy freaking cow, you should see your vortexes, everybody. There was so much here, more than I ever imagined in my life. Oh my gosh, I've got dream vacations here. There's abundance here, and you won't believe this, but I have a money vault right in front of me, and it's loaded with money. Oh my God, there's so many opportunities here just waiting for me to dive in. I've got business partners over here. There's co-creators over here, and there's investors. Oh my God, I would have never imagined that. I've got my summer home here. Oh, my winter home. Oh my God, this has been the dream of my lifetime. I'm surrounded by palm trees and the smell of the salty ocean air. Oh, 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 and the seagulls flying overhead, and none of them are crapping on me either. And I can hear people at the beach just having a blast and splashing around and having fun. And I feel the hot sun on my body, and it's, oh my God, it's a lovely 85 degrees. And I've got my RV fueled up and ready to jump in. Woo! I'm ready to go, Susan. Are you? And I've got a month's vacation traveling to see my kids, and a month in Hawaii, and you won't believe this, or maybe you will. I'm on a freaking stage talking to thousands of people, and I've got my soul speakers alongside me. We are shining bright. And you know what? There's so much more. But guess what? Guess what? I'm here to tell you, I had the power in me all this time. It's been in me all this time, and I just wasn't believing. But I'm ready now. Are you guys ready to believe? Just say, I'm ready. I'm ready to collect everything in my money vortex, everything in my energy vortex, because it's there waiting for you. And I just witnessed it. I just saw it. And it's just sitting there. All you got to do is say yes. Yes, I love hearing all the yeses. Oh my God, yay, everybody's ready. The question is, are you really ready? Are you ready to live the life of your dreams? Do you believe it's possible? Yes, we got lots of people believing. Woohoo! You better say yes to you, because only you can do this. All you have to do is believe. And all I'm asking you to do is believe and give up those limiting beliefs, everything that's been holding you back from your ideal life. What's so difficult about that? I'm not asking you to go out and get another job or work longer hours. So remember, in the beginning when I talked about your value, how do you value yourself? Are you worthy of receiving? Most people say that they're worthy, but on a subconscious level, not so much. I was one of those people. Are you ready for growth? Are you ready to invest and give yourself permission to have everything you want in life? Well, I hope that you are. I hope that you feel that anything is possible for you. And as they say, when you dream it, you can achieve it. So the following process that I'm going to take you through, it's going to be a shortened version of what I would do if I was coaching you one-on-one. But again, this is for purposes of the presentation. It'll be a little bit shorter, but you're still going to get the purpose of this process. And it's called Finding the Feeling Place process. And again, I know all you coaches know this, but please join me. And this process is for anyone, but especially for those people who live in their current reality, who have difficulty believing that life can be any other way. And if you have a desire to attract more money into your life and improve any situation in your life, then this is the process for you. This process is going to get you into a positive and abundant feeling space to attract what you want, which is more money, even though your current reality may not be enough. This is a great process to allow you to feel your way into whatever it is you desire. And the great thing about this process is it will help you focus your thoughts and your feelings so that you will emit an energetic vibration to what you want to manifest. It will help you feel your way into having whatever your desire is, whatever the amount of money is. The only requirements is to use your imagination. So let's dust that off and strengthen this muscle. Your goal in this process is to gather up images that cause you to feel abundant and to feel prosperous. And the goal is not to only feel good, but for these images to feel real. Your goal is to find the feeling place of what it would be like to have more than enough money all the time, rather than your current reality of not enough. So get comfortable and close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in and release. And take another one deep breath in and really breathe it into your belly. Feel your belly expand. And when you release, let go of anything that's not serving you. So perhaps there was a time in your life that you had enough money. Think back. And even if it wasn't more money, perhaps you didn't have as many bills, so it felt like you had a lot more money. Think back to a time that maybe you got your first job. And maybe there was a great sense of accomplishment that you felt getting that first job. You felt free and independent, important. And how did it feel to receive your first paycheck? Did you feel excited because you got to spend your money any way you wanted? How did that feel? Feel the freedom in that. And wasn't it great when you got to spend your whole paycheck on whatever you wanted? Concert tickets, sporting events, going out with the guys or your girlfriends, eating out, being spontaneous, not worrying about what or how much you spent. It didn't matter. You were having fun. You were living in your joy. Try and remember as many details as possible in order to feel free and abundant. And just remember a time that just felt so wonderful, where money wasn't an issue. Maybe you were living at home still, and you didn't have any bills, or you just had a few. Or perhaps, if and when you got married, you received thousands of dollars from your guest. How did all that abundance feel? How did it feel to have that money in your bank account? Take that fabulous honeymoon vacation. Did you fly first class? Did you enjoy wonderful food? I bet you felt so relaxed, had so much fun. Did you try snorkeling or parasailing or swam with the dolphins? Do you remember just feeling so free, so happy? Just feel it. And perhaps there's many other occasions where you felt abundant and prosperous in your life. Now that you're in this abundant state, pretend that you have much more money now. Money just flowing into your life. So much so that you've got different banks, different accounts, investments, cash hidden in your home. Imagine going to the bank with a huge bucket of loose change, and the bank teller says, "How would you like this back?" And you reply, "In hundreds, please." Wow, feel that. None of this $50, $30, $100 bills, please. Imagine your credit cards have a zero balance or even a credit on them. Remember when you desired that vehicle You found them all around you. You did that. So it is now with your money. Money is just flowing all around you and in your life. It's like magic. You figured it out. Your wishes are being fulfilled. Take a deep breath and just take that all in. And when you exhale, feel free to open up your eyes. And how do you feel? Do you feel more open, more expansive, less resistant than you did before you started the process? Were you able to allow yourself to feel wealthy, to feel the money and abundance all around you? So awesome, I'm seeing lots of yeses. So get this, your mind doesn't know if that was real or not. But your mind creates your thoughts, that creates your emotions, which attracts back that energy that you're putting out. Notice, nothing in your life changed right now. No events, no situation, but you felt abundant, prosperous, and free, and either less or no resistance. So, how will your life be different now when you actually start attracting more money? Are you really ready to create that life that you would love to live, surrounded by abundance and prosperity? Because this is the space that you want to put yourself in regularly. This positive, abundant, carefree state. Just allow yourself to feel these feelings on a regular basis. Because when you shift your inner reality, your outer reality shifts too. Your wishes will be granted. It is law. That is the law of attraction. Thank you. I look forward to hearing all the testimonies to all your manifestations.